so you do have a canning mechanism kind of operated by hand?
Yep. It's basically the crowler. I don't know if you remember the 32-ounce can crowlers. It's the same machine as that. We just have it scaled down to the 16-ounce.
Yeah, and okay, so no, down the road, I mean, it would be like a conveyor belt with a filler and like a capper.
I'm really hoping that I don't have to deal with any sort of canning machine. It was fun for the first couple of production runs because you could, you're drinking on the line. You're like, oh, this is a low fill, and you're drinking it, right? But after a certain amount of time, the amount of loss that you get from canning your beer is absurd. I mean, we're talking 10 to 15% of what's, finished product just goes down the drain just by, either starting it up, running it. You can't drain the tank completely, that sort of stuff. So I really, again, canning is fun for the first couple of runs, and then it just becomes a chore, and it sucks. The margins aren't there for cans. I've done a giant, so part of the box beer company that I've done, or that I'm working on, is I did a bunch of research into the cans. And I mean, you're making maybe on a good run 10% net margin on everything, maybe. It's closer to 5% after loss of materials and labor and just all sorts of stuff. So I hope I don't ever have to can. I'm hoping my box beer company takes off, because we're talking like 65 to 70% net margins with our box beer company.
Okay, and so besides the margin, what else is better with the box? It's easier to fill, easier to close.
Yep, easier to fill. It's and it's gonna have a longer shelf life than cans too. So you don't ever have to expose the inside of the bags to atmospheric pressure or atmospheric oxygen. So it's gonna keep quality longer, as long or just as long as keg beer, which is the preferred method to drink beer. Easier to fill, less equipment, less space, because it's all going to come flat packed, right? And so instead of buying a pallet of cans that's taller than me, you can buy these boxes that come in just an Amazon size box, and you just fill them. You just fill them and send them. And boxes you can do direct to consumer, so you can actually ship the boxes in the mail. Versus cans, you're not supposed to. Cans and bottles, you're not supposed to ship it in the mail. Beer, you can ship wine, you can't ship beer because it's a pressurized liquid versus just a still liquid. So that's kind of you're not supposed to, but people do.
In the box, it's okay because the box expands. Okay.
Right, because the bag in the box has a little bit of give to it. And if it were to get punctured, it's not going to explode. It'll just leak. Much like if you were to break like a wine bottle or a liquor bottle in a box, you break it, it'll just leak out of the box instead of theoretically exploding.
Okay. And your preferred method is the keg, and you have kegs that are half barrel size.
Yep.
And how do you fill those? Like directly from the tank?
Yep, directly from the serving tank. Yep.
And you have less issue with like draining the tank or the foam or that kind of stuff.
Correct. Yeah, because you can control the pressures, and so you don't ever have to have a giant. Because when you crack a can, right, you have this giant change in pressure, and so you can control the pressure in the tank and control the pressure in the keg, and so you can slowly drain the tank and slowly fill the keg, and you should keep your foam in there. You should keep your carbonation in there. You should be able to keep oxygen out. And it's just a better format. It keeps everything colder longer, so beer goes bad if it stays warm too much. That's why, pro tip, if you ever see beer on the floor of like Walmart or your liquor stores, don't ever buy cases of beer from the floor. Make sure the beer has always been refrigerated for the best quality beer.